Welcome to Sidelined Sports, where we give you an up-close and personal look at the teams, coaches, and athletes who make up Columbia Basin. I'm host Sean Wells. Tonight, we see our Moses Lake football fared against Post Falls in non-conference play. We check in on Big Bend volleyball as they take on Columbia Basin, and we see how Warden soccer matched up against Walook on the pitch. You're watching Sidelined Sports, and it starts now. Isaiah Thomas is impressed for Moses Lake football on both offense and defense. This game was no exception, with the Chiefs hosting Post Falls in a wild one. It was a non-conference showdown for Moses Lake hosting Post Falls. Chiefs were looking for their second win in a row after knocking off Eisenhower 42-14. The teams went back and forth in the first half but were unable to put points on the board. In the third quarter, Moses Lake's Wes Harrington hooked up with Isaiah Thomas for a 38-yard touchdown, putting the Chiefs on top 7-0.
Take it to the house!
The Trojans came roaring back in the fourth quarter when Mark Haynes found Preston Bogard for a 23-yard touchdown.
And he's got it. He's coming away with 6. What a beautiful pass by Haynes there.
The Trojans would go for 2 and make the conversion, taking the lead 8-7. The Chiefs would drive right back down the field as a trick play would set up the go-ahead score by running back Draven Navarez. Post Falls would have one last chance, but the Chiefs held on to win the game 13-8. Moses Lake quarterback Wes Harrington finished the game 12 of 22 for 112 yards and a touchdown pass. Isaiah Thomas had 5 catches for 74 yards and a touchdown for the Chiefs. Moses Lake is back in conference play this Friday at Sunnyside. Warden soccer were looking for a big victory at home against the Warriors. It was a good test for the first place Cougars.
Warden played an unwelcoming host to Walook Tuesday, shutting out the Warriors 5-0 on the pitch. The Cougars, under new head coach Hannah Mose, dominated first half possession and the scoreboard with 3 first half goals. The margin could have been a wider spread as Warden misfired on a handful of shots over the first 15 minutes of the fuss. Jennifer Mendoza struck first for the Cougars. Brenna Whitney tickled the Walook net after a couple Warden misses and a save or 2 by the Warriors keeper to put the Cougars up 2-0. Ida Gonzalez made it 3-0 on a goal late in the first half. The Cougars tacked on second half goals from Alexis Gonzalez and Whitney, and the rout was on. Warden moves to 4-2-1 in Central Washington to be play with the win. The Cougars hit the pavement to Granger Thursday for a non-league match with the 1A Spartans.
It was a tough league match at home for Big Bend volleyball hosting Columbia Basin. It was a big conference showdown for Big Bend hosting Columbia Basin. The Vikes were looking to notch their first league victory under first-year head coach Joni Nagy. The Lady Hawks jumped out to an early lead in the first set with aggressive attacking play, winning 25-13. The Lady Vikings gave great effort in the second set, but a late run by Columbia Basin put them on top 25-16. A back-and-forth third set was eventually won by Columbia Basin 25-23, taking the match in 3 straight sets. Mackenzie Monahan was the MVP for Columbia Basin, recording 10 kills and 21 assists. Emily Botkin also had a nice match for the Lady Hawks with 6 kills and 16 assists. Kelly Foth recorded 9 kills, 30 assists, and 7 digs for Big Bend. Brooke Sorensen had 6 kills and 19 assists for the Vikings. The loss moves Big Bend to 0-4 in conference play with a 6-13 overall record. The Lady Vikings are back on the road Friday at Blue Mountain. There were a ton of great games throughout the week in the Columbia Basin. Let's take a look at scores from your favorite teams.